Now we begin tonight with some heated discussion in today's Nueces County Commissioners Court meeting over beach access, specifically the vehicle ban on Nueces County beaches in Port Aransas. Now the vehicle restrictions are in place until August 17th, right? However, Port Aransas leaders say they could not enforce that ban. Details in tonight's top story.
That's right. The commissioners heard today from the county's emergency management coordinator, who said they are working to create parking lots at specific beach access points in Port A due to safety concerns. They've selected 6 of those points to create these makeshift parking areas for folks in response to vehicles parking along streets, and that's said to be creating trouble for emergency response vehicles trying to get through. The conversation is something that led to a heated moment today between Commissioner Brent Chesney and Nueces County Judge Barbara Canales.
It unfortunately sounds like looks like there's going to be another extension because
you need to stop right there. That's what we call objection, Your Honor. It calls for speculation. If you have a comment, let's not make it about my mindset at all.
But I can. Judge,
we're not going to talk about extensions.
I let everybody talk except I get interrupted.
No, you're not allowed to get into mindset or speculation.
What it's my speculation.
Well, Brent Chesney explaining there that if a vehicle ban would be expanded, something he says he is not in favor of, that the county would need the same kind of parking or access options for all county beaches and not just for those in Port A.